Hello. Today I want to talk about Ragtime by E.L. Doctorow. This is a novel from 1974, 1975, so it's about 50 years old. I needed something to read. I went to the library. I wanted to get Richard Wright's Black Boy because I liked the Native Son so much. They didn't have it, so looking around, I said, okay, Ragtime, I'll give it a go. It's not very big. Brought it home. I read it in really quickly because I like the way it was written. The text just really flows. I was thinking, give it a metaphor. It's like butter on a hot skillet. It just sort of melts and it just flowed and very easy to read and very fast. And I really like the beginning portions very much. This sort of a view of New York City in various angles. Some famous people, Evelyn Nesbit, and the triangle that was around her, Sanford White, and Harry Thal, I think his name was. Anyway, the whole murder of Sanford White is covered a little bit, and Nesbitt's position in that, and how she's paid off to testify for Thal, who is really rich. All these people were rich except Evelyn. She was just pretty. So she runs into Emma Goldman, and I've known quite a bit about Emma Goldman because I read 50 years ago, maybe a little less than that, I read the 2-volume autobiography called Living My Life by Emma Goldman. So I've forgotten a whole lot of it, but I have some knowledge about Emma Goldman, and actually she lived on 13th Street. I'm on 10th Street, not very far from where she lived for a while in New York City. Anyway, also center of the book is a family in New Rochelle. Father, none of these people are ever named. There's father, mother, grandfather, and the younger brother-in-law, and what goes on in their house. Father is a bunting flag manufacturer and fireworks. So he's going to cover your 4th of July, so forth. And he's gotten rich with all this. So we move on, and as I said, the first 2/3 of it, I was quite enthusiastic about it. I thought, man, this thing's really great. I really was enjoying it. And then about 2/3 of the way, 2/3 of the way through, it turns into this crime story, which involves a Coal House Walker, a musician, a ragtime musician. That's the ragtime in the name, do 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 do, and the woman who he's had a child with, who is staying with the family in New Rochelle. Exactly how she got there, I don't recall, but anyway, it doesn't matter. All these bad things go on with the Sarah, the black woman who is the mother of Coal House Walker's son. And she goes to petition she wants to talk to the vice president. I don't remember why, but she ends up getting beat up by the cops and dying. So and then this also a really bad thing in town goes on with Coal House Walker and his car. He was like a dapper black man. He had a Model T Ford. This is all going on between 1900 and about 1920. Also, characters are Harry Houdini. So there's a lot of like name dropping in the novel. And the stories about Harry Houdini that we all maybe know if we know anything about Houdini, about how he loved his mother and various escapes he's doing, and how he, after his mother dies, how he goes around and debunks psychics, seances, and stuff like that, because he kind of thinks maybe I could talk to my mother on the other side, and eventually, he ends up just being, outing these people as frauds. So he's, that's sort of a story off to the side, except that he happens to be in New Rochelle performing when a big event goes on that involves Coalhouse Walker. So this point where Coalhouse Walker, the woman who he wants to marry and intends to, and is the mother of his child, dies. And something goes on with his car with racist assholes in the town that belong in the volunteer fire department. He goes off his nut, and from there the whole story just slides downhill to something that it wasn't believable to me what was going on. And I didn't like the whole Coalhouse Walker criminal story and all that. Somehow younger brother is also, the brother-in-law, younger brother, whatever he's called, of the family is also brought into this because, he's learning how to construct bombs out of from the firework business. So ultimately, it was a very fast read, as I said. I haven't seen the movie. The movie is famous for bringing James Cagney back on the screen after 20 years of sitting around on the farm. Reading IMDb, I find out, oh yeah, there's a musical. Yeah, I kind of vaguely remember the musical. And the people who kind of didn't like the book so much like me, like I read the 2-star people and so forth, they said, well, we like the musical better. Well, whatever. I have never seen the musical. I've never seen the movie. I'm not interested in any adaptations of the material in this book. Ultimately, I don't know. It didn't go deep enough with the characters. In a sense, it was kind of as I said, the text is really brisk and very, very nice, and it really slides into the eyes, into the brain, and works very well. But ultimately, it's just not a really deep dive into personalities, and it's a kind of a stereoscopic slide view of the times in a certain sense. New Yorkers, might like it because, there's a lot of New York stuff going on in it. But ultimately, the whole crime thing at the end just ruined the whole thing for me. And I was just like, just kind of an agony to get through with the rest of it because it was just not believable to me. And it just wasn't good. And in fact, it being that it was from 1975, 74, 75 is when it's copywritten. I wonder if it just, a lot of the tone was like really kind of fear of the black man and fear of the successful black man in a sense. And I was wondering, why this was good, why this was acceptable at the time. And I think it maybe had been informed from the late '60s riots in the street, the race riots that went on, a lot of turmoil around all that, and I don't know, maybe Doctorow was reacting to that. This is the first and only E.L. Doctorow novel I've read. I might look into other ones, I don't know, because I did like his writing quite a bit, but I just as I said, I didn't care for it at the end, and I just thought it was just overblown and kind of fake, and intermingling his fictional characters with the real life characters. Just ultimately, I keep saying ultimately, in the end, didn't really work for me, and so that's what I got to say about Ragtime. Boo 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 boop boo boop boop boom. I'm going to be reading a book called Cheyenne Summer, so maybe we'll hear about that next. A historic view of the Indian massacres that went on in late the 1870s, 60s, whatever, out west, Custer, all that stuff. So I think I'll probably like that a little bit better than this kind of fake name dropping novel. Talk to you later.